guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, middle, and high school age. We are in our 13th year homeschooling this year. Today I'm really excited to be partnering with Jessica from the Waldock Way to go through some of the amazing resources that she offers over on her website. I will have links for everything in the description box for you. There are some really fun things over there that she has. I'm going to be going through a planner with you as well as one of her unit studies. It's a lot of information, and I think that the value is amazing, and I'm really excited to get into that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera around and go through some of the resources that I have printed out to use. I have not printed out everything because it is an enormous amount of information. Some of it I will be going through on the computer because I kind of do like a hybrid approach. Some computer stuff, some stuff I print out. So that's what I'm going to do with you and go through what I have. So let's get started. Before we get started, I did want to mention that I have a discount code for you if you want to get 30% off. It is code Waldock 2023, and that is good until August 31st of 2023. So I will leave all of the links and everything that I'm talking about today in the description box for you to have. Now, the first thing that I'm going to go through is the Wizard Planner, and this is an undated planner. You get 3 digital files when you purchase this planner. You can either have a Sunday start, a Monday start, or you can use an editable planner. So you can just put all of your plans in the computer in a file and have it there, or you can print them out. You can change things as needed. I think that that is really great. There are other planner designs that Jessica has, and this is just the one that I chose because I love Harry Potter, and I'm actually really interested in her Wizards and Wands unit study. I don't have that one to share with you today, but it is something that I'm looking at for the future. So I just printed out the month of August for you to see. There are so many different lesson plans and options within this planner. There's something for everyone. You do not have to use everything, but there are many, many different options within this planner. So let's look through it. So first you have your August calendar, and I chose the Monday start calendar. I know that a monthly calendar with a Monday start is a little odd, but because all of my planners are a Monday start, it does kind of make a lot of sense to me to have Saturday and Sunday together on one side. I know that that is not for everybody, but I do think that it is really fun to do that. Then within the August calendar, you also have an August morning basket and an August bedtime basket. And I think that that's really interesting. We have not done a whole lot of morning basket, schoolish type things for a while. I do have my own morning basket, my mom's morning basket, and I shared some of the resources that I use myself during my morning routine. I will leave a link for that in the description box if you're interested in seeing it. But I think a morning basket is a great idea for kids if you're doing a lot of lessons together with different ages. Having several different books to read from in the morning, it just sets your time right. And then also with a bedtime basket, it is nice to just list those resources so that you have them and you can kind of loop through them. Or if you're trying to figure out what you want to do, it gives you a little bit of space to brainstorm. Then you move into the different lesson plans. So each month has the monthly calendar and then the morning basket and bedtime basket pages. And that is how it is set up in the file. Of course, you can change things around and make it however you want. The way that she has it in the file is August through July monthly calendar, and then the morning and bedtime basket pages. And then she goes into all of the different versions of her weekly lesson plans and extra planning pages. So this is just one of the options of many. Weekly lesson planner, week of, it has Monday through Sunday up here, so you could put a few different things, and then to-do lists, or, you could do this by subject or by child, depending on what you want them to do within the week. And you could list some group things up here and just individual subjects. So there are a lot of different ways to use these pages. Then you just have a week of, and then this is great if you want to do it by subject, or the way that I actually use my planner is similar to this layout. And I will write Emma's name in the first 2 columns, and then I have a column for Lucy, and then I have 2 columns for Jack, and then I have a column for family. This has a lot more columns than what I have, but the boxes themselves are just a little bit smaller because they also include Saturday and Sunday on this spread. But I like to see all of this blank space, and I really love the design with the owl and the snitch and the castle. It's a lot of fun. Then you have another weekly lesson plan option. It has the week number, it says morning basket, and again, more space where you could use it however you want. If you're listing out subjects, if you're listing out resources, and then just checking them off when you are finished with them for the week. I really do like all of the different lesson plan options that she has. This one is really good, I think, if you're going to write out a list for your kids, which is something that I do with their planners, as well as for Lucy, my youngest, I have a weekly schedule pad that I use, and this would be perfect for that, to write down everything that my student has for each day, and then they could use this to check off when they have finished whatever the task is for that day on that line. That is how I would use this page. She also gives you a meal plan page, which I think is great. I will be talking more about food prep and meal planning as we get into the fall, especially packing a lunch for my kids in their lunchbox. I think that that's actually super helpful with the flow of our day, because we're not stopping to make food, since we've already made all of the food, and then they can just grab whatever they want out of their lunch boxes. There's also a shopping list, which is helpful if that's how you menu plan, to make out your menu and then write out your list. I think that that's pretty typical for a lot of people who meal plan. I do mine completely backwards, but that is a story for another day. Then there is a unit study planner, and it gives you space to write the books that you're going to be using, videos and websites you're using, and games and activities. I love this. I think having a place to create a unit study, I think sometimes people will look at unit studies and it's kind of overwhelming because it includes so many different subjects. But when you list out things and can kind of categorize, okay, these are the English books, and these are the history books, and these are the science books, or whatever, it makes a lot more sense. I like to see all of that stuff on paper when I'm planning. It's a lot easier for me. And then you have a resource log, and it gives you a place to write the subject or concept that you are working on, and then a list of books and games to support that subject or concept. I think this is really helpful to have for the whole year. And then as you see things, if you're on YouTube or you're on Instagram or you're at the library, you can make a note of it, and then it doesn't mean that you have to use it in that second, in that moment. But if you put it on your list, and then there is a time when you're looking for something new, you can refer to this, and it definitely helps. I think that it's helpful to do a lot of this before your homeschool year starts, but I know personally, I constantly am seeing new resources anytime I'm on social media or when I'm at the bookstore or at the library. So having a resource log, I think, is very, very helpful. And of course, you can print out as many of these as you need. You could 3-hole punch them. You could also print them in a smaller size. You can bind this with a coil binder or one of those click binder things, or even comb bindings. However you want to organize this, I would most likely use my quill punch and use a coil, because that's just what I like. And I would have it in this large size because I need a lot of space to write. But I do like that you can just print as many of these as you need. You can have one for each subject, or you can even go deeper into each concept within a subject. I think that's really helpful. Wizard's Chess, I think that this is probably referring to games that you're playing. That would be my guess here with the Wizard's Chess title. So you could write the date and the title of the game that you're using and what concept it covered or subject or whatnot. Then restricted books. So you have a book log, which I absolutely love. We're literature-based homeschoolers, so we read a lot of books and I like a lot of space for keeping track of those. Okay, then this is another weekly lesson plan spread that she has, which is probably the most similar to what I currently use, a little bit less space, but I think that this gives you quite a bit of room, and obviously you can print out as many of these pages as you need. So it has Monday, the day down the side, and then you can either have the subject up at the top, or you could have a student and then list out all of the things that you want to cover within that week. Now, there are also a lot of resources. I did share a couple of them. There are cover pages for each section. So some of the resources are the games and the book logs, and they have different designs. There's a couple of different designs for each of the different resources. They also have a birthdays and anniversaries list, contacts, websites, attendance sheets, and curriculum checklist. So plenty of resources. And then also the same thing with the unit studies. They have a couple of different designs to plan out your unit studies. Overall, I love this planner. I think that it is super helpful, and I especially appreciate that you have the option of doing the editable one. Sorry, I cannot say that right now. And that just allows you to go in and make changes as needed and print off what you need when you need it, or just use, your device and just read off of the device instead of printing it out. If you like a digital planner, I think that that is super, super helpful. The unit study that I'm going to go over is Traveling the States. I chose this because both Jack and Lucy are studying U.S. history this year. Lucy will continue to study U.S. history next year. She's in year 1 of 2 from Sunlight, but I thought that this would be a really fun thing to have. Now, there are a couple of resources that you do need for this unit study, and those are listed. The 50 States, Explore the USA with 50 fact-filled maps, and Eat Your Way Through the USA. I do have a United States cookbook, which I think that I will probably use instead of this one, just because I already have it on hand. And then there are suggested resources, books, games, hands-on activities that you can also use. There are several different checklists and lesson plans that you can use within this study, and I think that that's really helpful because you may want to be super in-depth and do all of the resources, or you may just want to have this as an additional fun thing for your kids to do within their day. So it has just a really basic Traveling the States checklist with the state that you are working through, and then several different things that you can just check off, like find the state on the map in the student notebook and color it in, read the state pages in the 50 States book, color the coloring page in the student notebook, which we'll get into shortly, read and complete the flag profile in the student notebook, add the state flag to the passport, watch the YouTube playlist. So this is going to be pretty much everything that you want to do for each state. And then there are different ways to plan that out. And so she does have a 2-day plan for the lessons. She has a 3-day plan for the lessons, a 4-day plan, and then she has all of the YouTube lists. And it's really easy to use these. You just use your phone and you highlight the QR code, and then it will bring you to the YouTube playlist, which I think is really, really helpful. There is an appendix in the back that has some different options for you, snapshots from, so if you visit a state, you can take some pictures or you can draw some pictures. It has these little pamphlets that you can color in where the state is, what region, bordering states, bordering bodies of water, total land area, welcome to the state, and then you have, famous citizens, places to see, fun facts, etc. So I think that that's a lot of fun. Then there are some sheets, so you could, if you know famous people from the particular state, you can look them up and write a little bit more information. I think this is really good, for upper elementary and, moving into middle school years. I think that that would be really helpful. And then obviously if you wanted to use this with a range of ages and you have high schoolers, they could take, this could be like a preliminary part of a report, and then they can go further and write a report about the person. There are some postcards that you can use. Then there are all of these important places within the different states. I just printed out the page that has Maine, the Portland Headlight, which is this is where I'm from, and this is a lot of fun to go visit. But so there is a picture for a place in each state, which I think is really cool. And then write the name of each state on the correct line. So if you're trying to test your kids after you have completed the unit, this is a good way to do that. Or you can just use it as a studying tool as well to see if you can name all of the states. And then there is another page for writing the state capital on the correct line. So this is really, really great. I think that this teacher guide gives you a lot of flexibility as to how much you want to use from the unit study, if you want to go super in depth, or if you are trying to just get a little bit extra for added enrichment within your other resources. So then we're going to move to the student notebook, and this is how it is for each state. And again, I just printed out Maine, so there is a coloring page, and you could color that in, and then there is a flag profile, and it gives you a place to color in the flag. There's obviously the sample, and then you can color the flag appropriately, a little bit about the flag itself, and then you're going to have the state profile, mark the capital city, and then fill out all of this information. And then the nature profile, there is a separate file in the unit study. When you get the unit study, you have all of these different files. It's a zip file, but then you get all of these different files. And the nature profile has a page for each state, which your student can use to fill this out, or they can, research the information on their own and fill it out and then compare it to this information that comes with the unit study. So this is how it's going to be for the entire unit study. There is a student notebooking section for each state with the coloring page, with the flag profile, with the state profile, and with the nature profile, and then the file that has all of the nature profiles already done for you. Now there's also a game pack, and it has 3 different games in it. It has memory, it has bingo, and it has top trumps, which is not one that I had heard of before, but that is another option for you. You can print out all of the little pieces in color, and the bingo cards, and all of the flag cards and everything, and use those as part of your learning. There is also a passport file where you can make your own passport, and it has enough pages for 2 passports. It has stamps that you can either, you can use after you've studied the state, or if you visit the state, you can glue them into the passport book. I think that that's a lot of fun. Especially if you do a lot of travel, I think it would be fun to do that, going around the country and adding in a stamp for every state that you visit. But I also think that it would make a lot of sense to use it for every state that you study throughout the year. So this is the Traveling the States unit study. Again, I do have that discount code for you. If you're studying US history this year, I think that this is a great addition to your regular resources. I'm really excited to start this with Lucy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think she's going to enjoy it. It will also give her something to do while I'm reading to her. Like I said, we're literature-based homeschoolers, so we do a lot of read alouds, and my kids always do a little bit better if they are occupied with something while I am reading aloud to them. Sometimes it's food, but a lot of times it is drawing or coloring. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. I want to thank Jessica again for partnering with me, and don't forget that all of the links to all of these resources will be in the description box. And I also have that 30% off coupon code that is good through the end of August, so I hope you'll take advantage of that. If you have started your homeschool year, I would love to hear how it is going. Let me know again in the comments, and thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!